Hey everyone, welcome back to KO.
I'm Kiefer.
And I'm Ollie.
And today we're drawing ourselves in the style of Arcane. So, we're sure most of you know what Arcane is by now. It's a show that's been out for 3 years based on the hit game League of Legends. Today we're going to be doing a video based on that. Want to go ahead?
Beautiful art style. I love it so much.
Yeah, if we can, we're going to try and do the style from Arcane.
It's going to be a bit tricky though because obviously it's 3D and we're drawing in 2D. So
not to mention our styles do not suit Arcane at all. But you have got a bit of an advantage on me.
I do. When it first came out, I did do a few little portraits of the characters, mainly just practicing the colouring. Yeah, who did I do?
You did Victor and Vi.
And Jinx. I did start Caitlyn, but I never finished it. So
yeah, but Caitlyn ain't important.
Yes, she is. We love Caitlyn. I love Caitlyn. Who's going first with the time lapses and revealing to each other? We haven't seen each other's work yet.
Well, do you want to go on it based on who finished first?
Or should we do rock, paper, scissors?
If we do rock, paper, scissors again, I'm going to mess up. I know that I am.
You messed up the first time.
And the second time.
Did you? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. So third time's the charm. Come on. Best of 3 again.
We're doing best of 3. Okay.
We always do best of 3.
Okay. Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. You win.
I am a professional rock, paper, scissors player. So here we are back with another time lapse. I am talking again. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any stories from myself and Kiefer today. I was really struggling with the lack of line work in this. Obviously in the sketch there's line work and that's how I figured out the picture. I just kept working into the line work because that's how I know I can work. And in the end when it came to colouring I had to get rid of all that. So I found that quite difficult, but I think it worked. You'll see in the end. Yeah, and I'm not good at realism, and the hair in Arcane, it isn't realism, but it's a lot more detailed than I can draw on a 2D space. Because I suppose it is all 3D. So, yeah, I haven't stepped foot in the 3D world yet. I'm a bit scared to do that, but maybe I will. I think out of all this, I was most successful with the face, not so much the body, but as I said in the last video, I do struggle with anatomy and stuff, so that was a bit tricky as well. If you're wondering about the pose, it is a random fashion pose. In my thesis on the end of my uni course, I did it about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and the art style of it, and a big portion of that was talking about the JoJo poses, and I learned that all the JoJo poses are actually taken from fashion magazines. So I've started to do that when I'm stuck for poses. I'll just look at fashion magazines or fashion pictures and then draw from that. So you get some really weird stuff. So this one looks a bit strange, but I think it makes sense in the end. Yeah, I think it makes sense in the end with the weapon of choice, and the weapon of choice is a whip. Sounds strange. There's no one in Arcane that has that, but I thought it's a bit different than, I don't know, like a gun. Everyone has guns, and I do have my mum to thank for that because I was struggling to think of a good idea, and then my mum suggested a whip, so thank you, Mum. I feel like it ended up looking more like the 2D animated sequences in Arcane rather than the main 3D animation, which is cool, but also heartbreaking because it tends to be the most heartbreaking scenes that have those 2D animations. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but I am still so heartbroken from the latest season. I cannot cope at all. I really don't know what I've been rambling on about this whole time, but I hope you've enjoyed, and I think I'll leave you there.
So I'm only just seeing Ollie's work and I'm looking forward to it. I've seen a glimpse of it.
Yeah, we gave each other little teasers, which were really pixely ones, just to see the silhouettes, pretty much.
Yeah.
But that's all we've seen.
Yeah. Don't know what to expect, other than a pose, obviously. Okay.
Are you ready?
Go on.
Ta-da.
Ah. You've done that really well. What the hell was you on about?
Thank you.
Yeah, doesn't look like Arcane, my arse. I can see what you mean about the face being closer to the style than anything.
Do you want to see zoom in?
Go on. Yeah, the face is definitely carrying this thing. It's still all good. And you've done a lot better with the clothing than I have.
Thank you.
Which you will see.
I mean, it's basically clothes I wear. It's my demonia, it's my long black coat, but then baggy trousers, which I do wear as well. It's just the top I don't normally wear, that kind of thing, but I thought I'd go a bit funky with that.
Are there any characters with whips in Arcane?
No. I thought I'd go for something different.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Again, you've done better than me in terms of originality. Don't know about
Oh.
style. But no, you've done great with it.
Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Right then. Your
I
turn.
take it it's my turn to show the time lapse.
So excited to see.
So, I decided to go a different route to Ollie and, well, tried to do the 3D thing. I don't really think it came out as good as it could have done, but what can I say? It's my first attempt at this, and I will probably get a lot better at it if I continue it. The character design itself wasn't my main priority. It was more so getting the shape to look at least similar to the Arcane art style, and to do that I wanted to start off with the face, because all things aside, the clothing in Arcane does seem fairly standard, and it's this style that's implemented onto the skin that seems to have, I don't know, something that is stylistically pleasing, and I don't know, that just seems like a really hard thing to capture. So I started off with the head, as you've just seen, focused on trying to get the proportions right, trying to make it at least look somewhat like me. I think it did start off looking like me, but over time just got worse and slimmer and just a lot less realistic. But I still think it turned out well, don't get me wrong, just doesn't look exactly like an Arcane character. In terms of the outfit, I took inspiration from Vanda and Silco because both have very different aesthetics. Silco seems more regal, but, you know, he's part of Undertown, so he isn't going to look the best. And Vanda just seems like your average Joe, which, fair enough, I'm an average Joe, and why the hell would I try and make myself look like something I'm not? So the idea was to take these features from Silco and add them to a more generic, outward, average Joe thing. The gauntlets and hammer were essentially just to fill in space, and because I felt like most of the decent characters in Arcane do have some kind of signature weapon, so taking inspiration from Jace and from Vi, I decided to go for gauntlets and hammer. Could have picked one or the other, but I really like the idea of one of the gauntlets just being attached to a mechanical arm. A lot of body augmentation seems to be a theme in Arcane, and yeah, I just wanted some of that for myself. There isn't really much else I can say. The style itself is amazing in terms of the actual Arcane images. That would be very pompous and very self-centered and narcissistic for me to have said that about my own work, so sorry about that. But this is just my take on it. I know it won't look exactly the same, but I at least hope you can see some of that in the design. Put simply, the Arcane style is amazing and it's unique and it is very hard to replicate, so well done to the producers and the designers who worked on Arcane, because you have worked on something that is hard to live up to. So let's see Ollie's reaction.
I'm very excited. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, that's cool. I like that. It does give the Silco vibes with the coat, doesn't it? But also a lot of Vanda vibes. Vanda vibes. That's a cool one. Vanda vibes.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Can I zoom?
Yes, you can.
That is cool. I like how you got the blue light from the hammer.
The hex tag.
Oh yeah, I know, but I'm just saying the light coming off it. It's cool. Oh god. I just drew on it by accident. You would murder me.
Yes, I would. I would murder you if you didn't notice it. So.
How would I not notice a giant black line I just drew over it?
I mean, I've done that a few times.
Me too. It's always the worst while you're in the middle of drawing and then you move away from it and don't realise.
Yeah.
And then you've drawn a whole section, but you can't undo it now to get rid of that bit, so you've got to redo that section that you drew it over. It's just a nightmare.
Yeah. So, what do you think?
It's really good. It is tricky with the no line work, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Done a good job there. Oh, you got a mechanical arm. I just realised that, because that's like a gauntlet one, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's a mechanical arm.
Yeah.
So, what's the story? Are you going to say how you lost your arm on your
I am
arm?
not telling the story for this one.
Aren't you?
No. This is just concept.
Okay, can you tell me now then how your character lost the arm?
How did my character lose his arm?
Yeah, I want to know these things. Is it like a Savika situation where like the hex tech explosion just dissolved the arm?
Well, remember that explosion at the end of season 1?
Oh, was you a counsellor?
No.
Oh.
I was in the streets below and the debris fell onto my arm and wasn't salvageable.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
I don't really have a story for mine. So are you from Piltover then, I'm guessing?
From Piltover moved to Zorn.
Why were you in Piltover during the explosion then?
I started realising that Zorn was where to be if you wanted to protect him.
Yeah, I'm just from Zorn.
But made sure to steal a bit of tech.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I made my own.
Oh, did you?
If you notice, my whip is pinky purpley, which means it is run by Shimmer. So basically, if you're hit by it, it'll like the wound that was left by it, it'll like soak into your skin.
That's interesting. Did you come up with that on the spot, or did you write that?
It was totally an idea I already had.
I don't think it was it?
There you go,
Just like me, just drawing the arm for the sake of drawing a mechanical arm.
So that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed.
Let us know in the comments who you think did a better job of the style.
And yeah, it was a tricky one to do.
Yeah, especially seeing as neither of us do work without line work.
Yeah, but I think did a decent job.
I think for our first attempt at it, yeah.
Yeah.
We should probably revisit it when the new Noxus series and stuff like that comes out.
If it does, I really hope it does. I need something to keep me sane. I'm so upset still. I keep saying to my mum, I'm like, I'm still heartbroken from Arcane.
Well, you can't say any of this because...
I'm not going to give any spoilers, don't worry. But if you haven't seen it, please watch it because you're missing out.
Anyway, bye!
Bye!